Today is Friday, April 8, 2022. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Our text is from Luke 23. Pilate said, "I have examined Jesus and have found no basis for your charges against him. Therefore I will punish him and then release him." But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barabbas to us!" Barabbas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Verses 13 to 21. Among the Evangelists, Luke has the most interesting cast of minor characters. Barabbas comes into focus here. His inclusion helps us understand what happened to Jesus, why it happened, and what it means for us. We need to enter his story to see the tragic day unfold from his perspective and to learn from him. Barabbas was not a common criminal. He had been thrown into prison for his part in a violent rebellion that had taken place in Jerusalem. Such events were a regular occurrence. Political and social frustration would regularly spill over into violence, sometimes targeted, sometimes mindless, and born of the apparent hopelessness of the cause. Because of such events, both the Romans and the chief priests were nervous of popular or messianic movements, not least at the time of major festivals. We know about Barabbas, but he was only one of many rebel leaders in the period. He escaped crucifixion that Passover time, but the cross claimed many, perhaps dozens or even hundreds. Even when no major disturbance had taken place, rebels were crucified. That was the Roman way. Luke describes the event in such a way that we can hardly miss the point. Barabbas is guilty of some of the crimes of which Jesus, though innocent, is charged: stirring up the people, leading a rebellion. Moreover, Barabbas has committed murder. Jesus was never accused of that. We don't know whether Barabbas saw himself as a possible king of the Jews, but that is possible. One of them is to die, Barabbas or Jesus, and it turns out to be Jesus. Either Barabbas or Jesus must die. Either Barabbas, who stands for violent revolution, which Jesus had opposed from the beginning, or Jesus, who has offered and urged the way of peace. Jesus ends up dying the death appropriate for a violent rebel. He predicted that he would be reckoned with the lawless, and it happened all too soon. We are by now used to seeing Jesus in company with tax collectors and sinners. We have been told from many angles and with many parables that this was the focus of his ministry. He embodied the outstretched love of God to all in need, going in search of lost sheep wherever they might be found. But we are not quite prepared for it to end like this. It is one thing for Jesus to go in to eat with a man who is a sinner. It is a considerable step beyond that, for him to go off and die the death of the violent rebel. But this is, in fact, the climax and focus of the whole gospel. This is the point for which Luke has been preparing us all along. All sinners, all rebels, all humans are invited to see themselves in the figure of Barabbas. As we do so, we discover in this story that Jesus comes to take our place. Under condemnation for sins and wickednesses great and small, in the strange justice of God, which overrules the unjust justice of Rome and every human system, God's mercy reaches out where human mercy could not. Jesus not only shares in our life, but goes so far as to take our place in death, receiving our punishment, our fate. Though the sin we commit may not be murder, nonetheless, Jesus suffers on the cross for our sin. Barabbas represents the position we are all in because of Jesus' death. We live because he died. Amidst all this injustice, the grace of God shines through. Jesus overcomes evil and injustice, even while in the midst of it. Barabbas' story is our story. Jesus freed us by his death, just as Barabbas was freed. One who saves a life is owned a life. Our Christian walk is a statement of gratitude to the one who has taken our place. We willingly take up our cross, and follow Him. As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever He may send you. May He guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May He bring you home rejoicing at the wonders He has shown you. May He bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.